Imagine if India runs out of oil for just 1 week, petrol prices will shoot up overnight and transportation will slow down. Industries will suffer, inflation will rise sharply. This is not just an hypothetical situation, it is a real risk linked to a narrow waterway called the Strait of Hormuz, through which nearly 20% of the world oil supply flows every day. For India, this route is nothing less than an economic lifeline. India is the third largest importer in the world of oil, and it imports about 85% of its crude oil requirement. Out of this, nearly 60% of the India's oil requirement pass through the Strait of Hormuz. This creates a serious economic problem. India is heavily dependent on single geopolitical sensitive choke point, which is passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Any disruption caused by the conflicts, such as tension between Iran and the Western countries, can block or delay oil shipment, which is the current geopolitical situation right now. This makes India energy situation highly vulnerable. If the Strait of Hormuz is disrupted, the impact on India will be immediate and severe. First, the crude oil prices will spike globally, making it around about 20-30% within years, rising. Second, the higher oil prices will lead to higher fuel prices in India, increasing the transportation and the logistic costs. Third, that pushes the prices of the essential goods rising, whereas rising of the inflation rate, the WPI inflation index, it will be reflected upon it. In fact, it has been noted that a $10 increase in the crude oil price spikes the India inflation around about 0.3 to 0.4%. Finally, the India's trade deficit will be widening and the rupee will be weakening, affecting overall economic stability and growth. So the measures that can be taken forward to reduce these shocks can be a a multi-pronged strategy that needs to be taken. First, the diversification of oil imports. India has already started importing more oil from its allies like Russia and US, reducing its dependency on the Middle East countries. Secondly, it can expand its strategic petroleum reserves, or the SPRs that is being referred, which is currently around 9 to 10% of the consumption level of India, but it should aim for around about at least 90 days like the developed countries. Third, the acceleration shift to renewable energy should be taken place. India aim to achieve the 500 gigawatts of non-fossil capacity by 2030, which is to reduce the oil dependency, but also reduce the deficit as well as the dependency on the other nations for the oil will be reduced. For the strengthening maritime security and the global partnerships to ensure shipping of the global routes. So for this time planning in short term, 1 to 2 years can be taken into consideration for the expanding of the oil reserves and the diversifying of the suppliers. In the medium term, from 3 to 5 years, it can improve its storage infrastructure and secure trade agreements like the FTA has been signed recently. In the long term, over 5 to 10 years, India can significantly reduce oil dependency to its renewable energy and electrification. Thus, these are the key challenges, but building an oil reserve and infrastructure requires a huge capital investment. That is one of the barriers that needs to be considered too. Moreover, geopolitics tension are unpredictable and beyond India's control. That can't be really taken into India's own hand. Also, transiting from the renewable to the transiting from to the renewable energy from the non-renewable energy like the fossil fuels is kind of slow and requires huge capital investment and technological demand. Thus, going forward, India needs to take these considerations. Thank you.